This is the Transformers More Than Meets the Eye collaborative 35th anniversary Back to the Future Gigawatt or Gigawatt Transformers collaborative or crossover type of figures where they mix pop cultures with Transformers. It was retailing for a whopping $52. That is retail price. $52. That's actually a pretty good price since a lot of the hobby shops were selling them for $55 and all that. So $52, okay. It's a deluxe class figure. I was not about to pay $50 for a deluxe class figure, or relatively a deluxe class figure. It went on clearance today for $36. And I was like, okay, that sounds like a good price, right? I tried my luck. I said, is the store going to give me an extra 10% discount? Luckily, that day, I rang it up the cashier and they gave me an extra 10% discount. So I ended up paying like $32, a little over $32 for it. Here is Gigawatt or Gigawatt out of packaging. And I reviewed several collaborative crossovers from the Transformers line. And I wasn't really too impressed with a lot of them. But I think all that is about to change with this figure. I don't know why I held out on getting this figure, maybe because I was very disappointed with some of the other collaborative figures, but this figure is looking to change my mind about the collaborative series because it is looking to be the best one in the lot. Apart from the fact that I'm pretty biased about Back to the Future and I love the origins of this mold, where it came from, this figure is pretty good. And it is the details, the fine details and sculpting that they have put in this figure that's really changed my mind about the collaborative series. In case you didn't already know, the Gigawatt or Gigawatt figure borrows heavily from the engineering and some of the parts of the Sideswipe mold, both the Siege and the Earthrise or Kingdom mold. And you can clearly see right here the thighs are near identical except for the colors. The crotch piece and the hip joints are very, very similar, if not identical. The legs obviously have been changed. The feet have been changed, but the shape and size of the feet and the way they transform, very similar to Sideswipe. You can see the way the sculpting on the shoulder, the biceps and the forearms really look like they've gotten it from this figure. Even the fists. The shoulders are slight variation, but very similar in design and sculpt. Even that head sculpt, it's a great rendition of what maybe perhaps a Doc Brown would look like as a Cybertronian, but the design elements are very similar to what Sideswipe looks. Even the entire transformation and engineering of this figure is near identical to Sideswipe. The figure comes with several accessories. He's got a fishing rod, or actually a pole, which really is for the alt mode. Well, I'll show this off later. It doesn't do anything much for robot mode. He does have a blaster rifle, and this blaster rifle is akin to Optimus Prime's ion cannon. It comes with the Mr. Fusion generator. Wow, look at that detail. It's so tiny. I can only read this if I'm using the camera, but on my own it takes a big effort. But it is their Mr. Fusion, and it actually serves as not only as a stock or ammo, you can actually mount it right here on top of the gun. So it kind of serves as the entry point for, if he wants to recharge the weapon and you use recycled biodegradable materials, you can put it there and the figure has a very similar articulation as Sideswipe. He's got a ball jointed neck. It's got a waist swivel. The shoulders can go in and out, forward and backward. Bicep swivel, hinge elbows. Wrists can go in and out because of transformation. You can do the splits with the ball hinge on his hips, go forward and backward. Thigh swivel, hinge knees. A little bit hindered because of the exhaust of the DeLorean or the time machine, and then the feet can do the rocker joints and can do a little bit up and down motion, but not as much. Great detail. You can clearly see some elements right here on the feet, which reflect the flux capacitor right there. That is the thing that makes a time machine go. And I love the fact that they've incorporated this. This is the main thing. This is one of the main thing that makes this time machine unique. And it is really an iconic element of the Back to the Future franchise. You can even see the original dates that were inputted in the first movie. Some kibble right here. The doors serve as, I guess, wings or back kibble. But overall, I love the way it turned out. I thought it was going to be corny. I thought it was going to be too plain and boring. But the figure really surprised me. And we're just talking about the robot mode. It's the car mode that really blew me away. And speaking of the car mode, let's get him into his vehicle mode. Let's start off this transformation. So you unpeg the shoulders so that you can lift that hood or the chest piece. Here is a little bit tight. You want to swing the flux capacitor down, and just before it clears the head, tab it in and go ahead and fold that up to cover the head sculpt. Okay, the wheels are going to pop out to the side. The arms, just like Sideswipe, they are going to transform the same fashion. Fold it this way. So if you're familiar with how the Sideswipe mold works, you're not going to have a difficult time transforming this figure. You probably won't even need to read the instructions. There's another step right here, which I guess the instructions do say. Might be helpful to just take a quick look at the instructions though. So tab that there. That's the lower fender or the mud guards. It's a little tight. Might be a nail breaker for some, but just fold it up and complete the entire front section of the car. And then rotate that waist, pop this open, go ahead and fold out those exhaust manifold, I guess, or pieces. Fold the feet, and then fold the entire legs, or the entire leg assembly, tab them in, and then close back these leg panels or shin panels. And then the doors, you can keep them out like that. I thought this was great so that if it is in vehicle mode, you can actually display with the doors open, much like a, like a regular collectible, a die-cast car, in this scale. The last thing you want to do, you want to close the doors and complete the transformation into his DeLorean time machine alt mode. I love it. I just really, really like this. And like I said, it is the details that really sold me on this figure. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Look at the rear section of this car. Look at all the details that Hasbro has taken the time and effort to just really give us. Look at that paint apps right there. You got the sculpting of the wires. There's some high gloss paint on the, I guess, the exhaust or the thing that glows it. I thought that was really, really nice. Really good fan service. Even the color of the plastic. The way they've painted, I don't know if it's painted or molded. It feels like it's painted because the molding looks like this. Just a basic glossy pearlesque type of gray plastic. But this one, it feels like it's brushed metal. And they even added some silver metallic paint right here. Some on the trim, they've put some glossy black paint right there. It could pass as a collectible car. And that's why I'm loving it so much. The rims are painted, and you have some ports right here, and that's for the other pieces. So if you want to do the second version of the time machine, which is the Back to the Future 2 or the end of Back to the Future 1, you can actually attach the Mr. Fusion attachment right there, just like how Doc Brown came back with the car and he was putting some banana peels and all that into the engine or the Mr. Fusion reactor. That was pretty cool. And here's where that fishing hook or that rod comes into play. If you remember, in the first movie, they had to outfit the original DeLorean with a hook so that it would catch the wire where the lightning would come down onto when it struck the bell tower, and it would give them 1.21 Gigawatt. It's a nice fan service, albeit it's pretty useless for the Transformer figure, but it does give it some nice detail and accuracy in alt mode. We're not going to do that. Now the gun, it does fit securely here, just under the hood, the bonnet, and you've got yourself a Time Machine DeLorean. Now, if you're wondering if it can do the flight mode, as we saw at the ending of the first movie, yes, it can. You fold the wheels right here. Like this. It can go into hover mode. Dun, 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 dun. So for some size comparisons, here is Gigawatt with the alt mode of the Sideswipe mode. This is the Siege Sideswipe mode. The variant is Deep Cover. I thought the black variant would be more suitable with the silver tone of this car. It's almost a deluxe class. It's slightly bigger than a deluxe class figure, I should say, because the price is almost a leader class figure, which is ridiculous. But yeah, it's basically a little bit of an oversized deluxe class figure. And here is the Hot Wheels DeLorean or Time Machine, Back to the Future Time Machine car that I still kept all these years. So you can see the similarities right there. Even the license plate, they actually did the out of time license plate, which is very accurate to the car they used in the movie. They pretty much nailed this. And look at that, even the trim. I'm just completely blown away by the amount of details that they put with this figure, specifically in alt mode. And that's what convinced me, which I guess changed my mind about the way I look at these collaborative. I don't know. I'm still not completely 100% sold with the other collaborative Transformers figures. You know how I felt about that Jurassic Park. I mean, that was bad. That set wasn't really a great one, but this one looking to be the best. I'm gonna give the Time Machine Gigawatt collaborative Transformers crossover figure a 10 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought of Gigawatt. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.